Radio app, now #1 for podcasting. This is Talkin' Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. Talkin' Golf is brought to you by
American Family Insurance. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. Cherokee Country Club, Madison's only private facility to offer an 18-hole golf course, indoor-outdoor tennis, pickleball, fitness center, outdoor pool, and 2 restaurants. And by Wisconsin.golf, covering the people, courses, tournaments, and golf issues in the Badger State and beyond.
Now, here are your co-hosts for Talkin' Golf, the former Wisconsin men's and women's golf coach and member of the Wisconsin Golf Hall of Fame, Dennis Tiziani, and longtime Wisconsin sportscaster, Paul Brown.
Welcome to another edition of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison. Along with Dave McCann, our engineer, along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. And another program, and tonight on the show, Steve Stricker is going to be with us in a couple of minutes. Steve will be talking about his play over the past weekend, and him and Jerry Kelly are teaming up in the state of Ohio this coming weekend to play in a golf tournament over there. Also on, Gary D'Amato. We've got a number of subjects pertaining to Wisconsin golf that we're going to cover with Gary D'Amato, who's the senior writer of the website Wisconsin.golf. And for the golfers in the Madison area, there's a lot of speculation about what's happening with the Madison golf courses. Well, they do have a task force. That task force has had several meetings in the past, including in the last couple of weeks. And Eric Knapp is going to be on. Eric is involved with the Madison Parks Department, involved with the golf courses, and he's going to give us an update on all of the activities that are going on and what's known at this particular time about the future of Madison golf courses. Dennis, a couple of things, but before we get to the weekend of golf, I want to pass this along. You've heard commercials on the air on the show about golf passes for sale at UW Ridge and Wild Rock in Wisconsin Dells. And all I can tell you, we've said it in the past, that when we do this, the passes go fast. As a matter of fact, as of tonight, we have 1 pass left for UW Ridge and less than 15 passes available for Wild Rock in Wisconsin Dells. So there's still time to get that golf pass for UW Ridge or the ones at Wild Rock in Wisconsin Dells. Just go to the golfeffect.org website, and on there it's Wild Rock and UW Ridge. You click on the icon and you can order your passes. You pay for them through PayPal, and they send the passes out of Cherokee and they come to you. And Dennis, those passes just flew out of here.
You know, how come they say long time announcer? Why don't they say big time announcer? We got to change that.
That's all right. Yeah, I guess 42 or 45 years qualifies you to be a long-time guy.
Big time announcer.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
350-yard average drives in a golf tournament for Bryson DeChambeau. I had the feeling over the weekend, we have talked ad nauseum about what's going on in golf, and potentially some changes got to be made down the road. Do you think this is the beginning where the people that are in charge of this will look at that scenario and go, they're making golf courses obsolete and we can't continue to let this happen? Could this be the catalyst for future changes in golf?
I don't think it's be so much with I think it's people that he's beating up are going to make the changes pretty soon. They're going to get on where you're going to do something. But then again, he put on 40 pounds or something like that. And it's not fat. He's got a lot of muscle there, and he's a big boy. He hits the ball a long ways, but I think you're right that somewhere along the line, they're going to take Jack Nicklaus' advice here pretty soon and do something with the ball. Because remember, only 2 things have changed in golf.
The club and the ball.
That's it. The club and the ball. The club is just, between spring effect and and the weight distribution and the like that's going on. Plus, the ball is a big item. And at some point in time, they'll have to do something there to bring the golf course back to reality.
Because when you look at a par 5 today, and he's talking about hitting a drive in an 8-iron, come on.
Out of the rough. 208 to the front, hit an 8-iron. Now, come on, is right. But, that's just the way that is. I think that we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that, 99.9% of the people that are playing do not hit it that far.
But they can't relate to what they see on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, but most of them can't anyway. Who's going to relate to 21 under or 22 under? Most guys could add up all their birdies and no bogeys for 10 years and not get to 22 under, So I guess what I'm trying to say is that there has to be something, and I'm hoping that there is. They do something with the ball. And if they can get the ball that could come off at a certain speed, it'd reduce that length a little bit. And I think that as soon as they come up with a ball that's going to be lesser than what's the live ball that's today, that the tour is using, within 30 days, the rest of the world will use that ball because they're going to want to be like that tour player. So
who would make the decision to make those changes?
Two people. Our two, PGA and the Royal and Ancient. Those are the people that make the rules. And, as long as there's not many people there, but as long as sponsors are paying to be there, there's not going to be a lot of changing.
So we'll see what happens. But I just wonder, this may be the catalyst because this is getting unbelievable.
Well, the other guy shot 20 under.
You talk about that back in the old days. That score would be ridiculous.
Well,
right?
I can remember when 15 under was a lot.
Yeah.
And now look what we're doing. We're just blowing it right away. But both of those guys are a little bit unconventional. Both of those guys, Matthew Wolff, and this guy here, but they're good players. These guys can putt. I was very surprised at how this guy starts out and jigs the club all over the place. But as he comes into the strike zone, he's dead on. This is this Matthew Wolff, dead on. We did a lot of stuff, Steve and I, duplicating that swing, when Steve was home and getting to what he's doing. And it was pretty good.
One thing maybe we can kid Steve a little bit about is on television over the weekend, they were saying DeChambeau's takeaway looks very similar to some guy on the tour named Steve Stricker. Yeah.
Well, this putter, they bring him up for putting. They bring him up for chipping. They bring him up now for the way his swing looks, really. It's good at that, but both of them would do what's called download. If you'll notice, that looks stiff-wristed when they go back, but as they make their move down into the ball, they set the club on the way down. Both have real good arms, forearms, wrists, fingers hold onto the club, so that they can catch up in the strike zone. Ben Hogan was the same way. Byron Nelson the same way. They're old-time swings, except these guys have different equipment and a different ball.
We'll chat with Steve after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
3, 2, 1. Grab your phone because now is your chance to win $1,000. Text the keyword money to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's money to 200-200.
Now that's a parking spot.
Introducing the I may have underestimated the size of my car policy with accident forgiveness from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. Get a quote. Find an agent. Visit amfam.com.
Optional policy features not included in base policies. Review policy for coverages and exclusions. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A cherished family visit looks different today at Oak Park Place, but the feelings of love and support haven't changed. The focus is always on resident health and safety. Thank you to the families for finding unique ways during difficult times to connect with loved ones while maintaining physical distance. A wave and a smile from outside, a yard sign with a special message, all to bring joy to the residents. They have locations on Madison's east side in the Nakoma neighborhood, Janesville, Baraboo, Oak Creek, and Wauwatosa. Visit oakparkplace.com.
Hi, this is Dave Gary with the Princeton Clubs. A great round of golf requires the right club at the right time. Here in Wisconsin, the Princeton Club is the right club at the right time. If you want to improve your game, give us a call. For custom golf fitness programs, we work with all types of golfers to increase flexibility, core strength, stamina, and overall fitness.
Congratulations on getting the rings and everything.
For more information, go to PrincetonClub.net.
This is Gary D'Amato with Killarney Golf Media. Check out our coverage of golf in Wisconsin and beyond on wisconsin.golf. We cover people, courses, tournaments, issues, and trends. Anything and everything that impacts golf in our state. And keep listening to The Golf Effect for expert analysis, topical dialogue, and great guests. Between wisconsin.golf and The Golf Effect, we've got you covered.
4.
Wow, you're terrible at golf. Who taught you?
I Googled it.
You need to meet with Tiz.
What's a Tiz?
Dennis Tiziani, Wisconsin Golf Hall of Famer. He has over 50 years of playing and teaching experience with a ridiculous list of championships and champions. Maybe you could be his next protege.
Where can I find him?
At the golf range at Cherokee Country Club.
Well, what if I'm not a member at Cherokee Country Club?
Well, the golf range is open to the public, but have you ever thought about becoming a member? They have a new membership program where you can pay for what you play. Whether you play once a week, once a month, or just want an unlimited option.
Wow, sounds like an ace in the hole. Where do I sign up?
Just call me, Kristen the Piston, at 608-241-8788, and I'll get you all teed up.
Cherokee Country Club is the only club in Madison to offer indoor and outdoor tennis, swimming pool, and social individual, family, and junior memberships. Call Kristen today at 608-241-8788. Cherokee Country Club. Pay for what you play.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Hold on, visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
And we're back at Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dave McCann, our engineer, Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is Steve Stricker. Steve, I mentioned this to Tiz as we came on the air here tonight. I'm wondering, everybody talks about the potential future of changes in golf and that
I got
type
Steve
of,
back. He's ready.
the potential changes in golf, and down the road, could they potentially do something to make the change so for some of these guys, the golf courses don't become obsolete? And it struck me over the weekend when a guy averages 350 yards per drive. Could this be the potential catalyst to look at things and go, you know what, maybe we need to change something? Or is that even an unrealistic thought?
Was that for me, Paul? I
just
got on here. Sorry. I got the second half of that, but I think I know where you're going. It was, there's some guys that are hitting it a long, long ways. And, I mean, they're athletes, right? They're in shape. They're strong. They're young. They got a lot of speed. I don't know if that's what, is good for the game. I think for the tour though, it's good. I mean, when we do have fans coming out there to watch these guys hit it, I mean, it is exciting to watch these guys hit it a long ways. And then I played with Bryson in a practice round on Wednesday, and I was fascinated, to watch him and go about what he's doing. And shoot, I found it entertaining and fascinating to watch. And so the tour is kind of an entertainment business, and so I think fans would really get a kick out of watching that. But in the long haul, some of these courses are going to be pretty short for a lot of these guys.
Steve, and I don't mean it in a negative way, and you mentioned you were with him in a practice round. Did it ever make you feel, while you sit there and watch what he's capable of doing, and you kind of wonder, how do I compete with
Should
that?
I stay home? Yeah.
That was a diplomat.
Oh,
I was
man.
trying to be diplomatic about it.
Yeah. Get me on that Champions Tour where I'm long, it's unbelievable. I played every day. It seems like I'm playing with guys that are hitting at 30 past me. I played with Cameron Champ on Sunday, another young guy that hits it, 50 to 60 yards past me. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, I know I hit a good one at 18 on Sunday, and I had 160 some yards. And then I'm watching the telecast. Bryson has 95. I mean, he had me by 60 yards, 65 yards, and close to 70 yards. And, that's when a guy's flipping in a wedge compared to my 8-iron. I mean, I'll take the guy with the wedge all day long, it's a little disheartening. I just gotta, and it's gotten harder for me each and every year, but it's still fun to come out there and compete and try to play well.
Watching the telecast over the weekend and DeChambeau, they were talking about his drives, and who they gave some credit to? They said when you look at DeChambeau and his takeaway, it looks a lot like somebody on the tour called Steve Stricker. So are you partly responsible for what's going on?
No, I don't think so. I was talking to Bryson about it. He's like, if you tried some of this stuff, you'd probably break. And he's probably right. If I tried to swing it that hard at my age, without building up. And like I said, I found it fascinating. I was asking him questions all the way around. And, there were times when he was doing all this speed training that he actually had to get away from trying to hit it so far because his body was starting to fail. One side of his body was becoming weak. The other side was trying, to dominate. So he had to go back to the gym, take some time off from trying to hit it hard and to build his body back up. And that's what he's doing. I mean, he's going about it the right way because he's working on his body at the same time. And like I said, it's not for everybody. Everybody's a little bit different, but it sure is fun to watch. And he's actually driving it pretty straight for as long as he's hitting it. He's driving it pretty straight.
Steve, we see you here at Cherokee, and you're working out a lot. You're practicing a lot. You spend a great deal of time around the golf course and that kind of thing. How do you feel about your game, and what maybe has improved in your mind, or how have you, say for an example with putting, how's that going as compared to what it was?
Oh, everything's kind of slipped a little bit since coming out of this quarantine. I feel like, I don't know why, because I played a lot of golf during the quarantine time. The 3 months that we had off, and I think I got into some bad habits, not really paying attention to what I need to do, kind of just going through the motions when I was playing. I played with my family a ton and still do, and kind of taught me that I got to pay attention a little bit more. But I'm getting back on track, I think. And, I'm just not very consistent at this time. I can hit some great shots, and I hit some really, really poor shots last week as well. But that's the nature of the game, and I'm seeing some better results on the range during the practice sessions. I hit a ton of balls last week, and I think I kind of wore myself out come the weekend a little bit, just trying to find a few things. And but as the year and the summer goes on, I should hopefully get in a better position to do what I want to do.
Steve, a couple of more, then I'm going to let you go, because I know you and Jerry Kelly are in an event this weekend. They just announced at Memorial they're not going to allow fans. So that ties into the COVID-19, and you've now gone through this experience a couple of times. What's it like for the players? What's your reaction to what's going on, and how do you feel about the whole thing?
I think the tour has done a pretty good job. I mean, it's such a fluid situation, right? I mean, everything's changing all the time. You got guys that will pop up and get tested positive, and even like Cameron Champ, he tested positive, and then subsequent times he tested negative, I think 3 or 4 times in a row. So whether that was a bad test where he got the positive result is what they were thinking. So they're kind of adapting as they go along. And I feel pretty safe out here. And you can do as much or as little as you feel necessary for yourself. I mean, you don't need to go in the clubhouse. You could stay away from everything if you want, but everybody's wearing their masks when you go inside. A lot of hand sanitizers around. Guys are paying attention. Not getting too close to one another. They're wiping down the pin flag when they're done. With the hole. I feel like the tour has done a really good job. And when you start to look at other sports, and they haven't even gotten going yet, you got multiple guys, in hockey and basketball, baseball, multiple guys on these teams that are testing positive. So golf is fortunate to be able to be played outside. You can stay away from everybody if you need to. And that's what we're doing. Guys are taking it serious, and we just feel fortunate that we can get out there and play and try to make a living.
And one final one, Steve, on the Ryder Cup, was somewhere along the line an announcement's going to be officially made. Any insight into, there's rumors that that may come this week or anything there. Can you update us on anything related Ryder Cup?
I could, but I can't.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you.
But the announcement's coming soon. And that's pretty much all I can say. I don't know if it's going to be this week or the first part of next week, but something will be coming out here very shortly.
Okay, and one final one. You and Jerry Kelly are playing together an event in Ohio. You guys have done this a number of times before. It's kind of a fun thing that you guys do, as well as be competitive. In fact, you've won some tournaments that way.
Yeah, we're playing at the we get to play in the Workday Challenge. I'm not sure what the official name of the event, but Workday, the company Workday, is putting it on. I'm sticking around and playing again next week for the Memorial Tournament, and we're playing at the same course back-to-back weeks. I think Jerry's just going to play this week and then go home, but looking forward to it. Anytime we can go around and play Muirfield Village a couple weeks in a row, Jack's place, it's pretty special. So why not give it a try? And there's a full field event this week, and then it's more of an invitational next week. And so it's a great spot to be and play for a couple weeks.
Thanks for your time, Steve. Good luck the next couple of weeks. We appreciate you being on. That's Steve Stricker. We'll be back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10%. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Oak Park Place invites you to join them for a personal virtual tour from your home. You can virtually walk the halls, visit a model apartment, and see the common spaces, all based on your unique needs and interests. Choose the fit that is right for you, from independent to assisted living, memory care, and short-term rehabilitation. They have locations on Madison's east side, in the Nakoma neighborhood, Janesville, Baraboo, Oak Creek, and Wauwatosa. Visit oakparkplace.com.
Play the best-kept secret in Wisconsin golf, Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells. This Herdston and Pride design not only features stunning views from elevated tee boxes, but it also showcases the natural beauty of the surrounding area that will dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike many places you played before. A true test of golf for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time online today and see what you've been missing at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hey, Lauren, you ready for things to get back to normal yet?
Yeah, I really am. I really miss hanging out with my friends and family, going out to eat, and sporting events.
You should check out Cherokee Country Club this year. You can enjoy sports at a safe distance with our golf range, indoor-outdoor tennis, swimming, and beautiful 18-hole golf course. Also, our sports lounge is open to the public. Have you tried their Friday night fish fry?
no, I haven't. I think that's something my family and I can really enjoy. I'm going to tell my friends about it. Where can we sign up?
Call me, Kristen, at 608-241-8788.
Cherokee Country Club. Pay for what you play.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions. The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, is open for play and awaiting your arrival. The Robert Trent Jones Jr. design, University Ridge, is now offering 18-hole walking green fees for as low as $46 plus tax any Monday through Thursday. This 18-hole rate won't last long, so visit universityridge.com or call 608-845-7000 to reserve your tee time. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge.
The golf season is in full swing, and so is Nevada Bob's. No more curbside deliveries or drop-offs. You get the full in-store service from Joel and his staff. New or used clubs, they got them. Putters, balls, shoes, hats, and apparel for men, women, and kids. Nevada Bob's has you covered. Replace those old grips with new ones. Get a new bag or a high-tech bull cart. Top flight service with a smile. It's like Joel says,
Your game, your store, Nevada Bob's, always at the best price.
And we're back on Talking Golf and the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown. And the senior writer for Wisconsin.golf, a website that if you're into golf in Wisconsin, or for that matter nationally, you should check it out because they do a great job at Wisconsin.golf. And Gary D'Amato, the senior writer, in fact, he recently wrote an article about the 12-hole course that's under construction up at Trapper's Turn in the Dell's Andy North design. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. But, Gary, first of all, welcome to the show. I know you were waiting throughout the day, as everybody in the media. There was some speculation that maybe the announcement would come in the Ryder Cup, if not today, sometime this week. And Steve obviously knows what the decision is, but he's not in a position where he can say anything. But I don't think anybody's going to be surprised if they say it's going to be delayed a year, right? Is that what your thought is?
Yeah, exactly, Paul. I at this point, I'd be shocked if it was played. I know they're waiting to the very last possible minute because there's so much tied up in the Ryder Cup. I mean, it's the most lucrative event in golf. We have corporate sponsorships, and there's budgets to wade through. You know, the PGA of America and Ryder Cup Europe, the European Tour, you know, they depend on multi-millions of dollars from the Ryder Cup. Then you have TV contracts and tickets and what to do about all that stuff and how to, if it is going to be rescheduled next year, where to put it and what to do with the President's Cup. So there's so many moving parts to this thing that it doesn't surprise me at all that they're waiting to the last possible minute. But I just don't see it being played this year.
Dennis, where do you stand on all of
Why do you call him a senior writer? Because of his age or because he's been there a long time?
He's written thousands of golf.
Oh, from that way. That's his senior for me or his age.
Why, do you want to give him a different title?
No. He's
the main golf writer in Wisconsin?
Well, he's
something like that?
He's more than that to me. He's a friend. But answer to your question, in my opinion, no, I don't have any other influence in that. It is a money thing, just like he said. And I think the settlement will come when PGA, who has the Ryder Cup, agrees to some sort of funding to the tour, which is the President's Cup, for their date next year. I think you'll find President's Cup be on track for 21, and then from there on in, every other year you'll get that again. But this is what's controlling that. It's about the dough, you know, and rightly so. You know, both organizations have, you know, good funding, but they also have expenses too. So I just think it's a money thing, even though I haven't, Steve refuses to talk about it really, you know,
That's
and
understandable.
rightly so.
That's
He's not going to do it
understandable.
because he knows I'm going to get on here and then I'm over here at the club and your big mouth is going. He's not going to say anything that that is going to, but so he's pretty tight-lipped about it, but the handwriting's on the wall.
One thing I'd be curious about, I wonder if this changes his thinking be it an advantage or a disadvantage that now he's got even more time before the actual event and where he can pick the players? How do you think he'd feel about that?
No, he's so anal. He's so organized. I mean, if you've watched him put his socks on, you can see that it's different. I mean, it has to be. So he's way out in front of this game already and who the players are. He's going to surprise you, I believe, in who he's going to pick. And a lot of these young players are going to be part of that. He mentioned a couple on the show today. I mean, they are intimidating. They're very good. And in a situation, a lot of those kids, young players, are coming to the tour without and haven't been there a long time, so they don't have predetermined enemies, where I don't like this guy for this reason, I don't like that for this reason. These guys are out there just to play golf. But he's on top of it. He's got it wired, and he's got a good support team. Tiger Woods is a big help to him, and insights on things. And we'd be surprised. I just hope it isn't move out of Wisconsin. I hope that our fans get an opportunity to see that here, because it is totally special.
Gary, do you agree that with the state of Wisconsin legitimately still would be the leading contender to host the Ryder Cup again?
I would think it would have to be.
Wouldn't it?
If you're if you're taking it away from Whistling Straits this year, I think you have to bring it back next year. I mean, all these people bought tickets; they want to be at Whistling Straits.
Absolutely.
And I can't see them moving it. Yeah.
Earlier in the show, you've been on the show many times, and we talk about what's happening on the PGA Tour in terms of how low the scores are going, 22, 23 under. Had a thought over the weekend, and I want to see if you think I'm crazy on this thought. When DeChambeau averages 350 yards a drive, you wonder if the people that are involved with the decision-making process of the game go, this could potentially be the catalyst event to say, we need to stop a driver in an 8-iron on a par 5.
Yeah, it's funny. I interviewed Gary Player at the Masters about 15 years ago, and he was telling me someday there's going to be an athlete that comes along that drives the golf ball 400 yards. And I started kind of chuckling, and he said, I'm dead serious. It's going to happen. Mark my words. Well, I don't know about 400, but we're getting awfully close with Bryson when he's hitting at 370 and 380 at times. So is this the tipping point? I heard Dennis earlier in the show talk about a one ball for the PGA Tour, but all these manufacturers who have their names all over these balls, and I just see a bunch of lawsuits coming if the USGA tries to do anything to bring back the ball. I don't know if the USGA is willing to fight that fight, but something has to be done. I don't know what, but something I think should be done.
PGA Tour's got to get some cooliones, and they've got to go ahead and what they got to do is come up with their tour. It's theirs. And again, bowing down to all of this, I'm going to say it, foreign money that owns our manufacturing currents, whether it be Titleist is owned by over there. I mean,
isn't there one manufacturer in the United States? The rest of them are all.
Yeah, what's his name down there in Phoenix? Ping. Yeah, but I just want to get off of that because sometimes that's what I tend to go towards. So the money is driving it, but really, they're going to need to do something, or they're not going to have any courses to play. And I understand what Steve is saying. He's taken that it was exciting to watch it and stuff like that. But I'll guarantee you that if you could get those players that are average, the 290 to 310s,
which is not bad, by the way.
Well, it's really good. But if you got them to go ahead to talk what they want to have, they'll want to do something with the ball. Jack Nicklaus is really one of those guys that want to do it. And like I said, within 30 days after they come up with the ball, everybody who plays the game is going to want to play the ball the tour plays, not something different.
Gary, I'm going to let you take it over here because he's got a question or two that he wants to ask Tiz about.
Wow.
And but first of all, Gary, you wrote an article in Wisconsin.golf about the 12-hole course that's under construction at Trapper's Turn in Wisconsin Dells, and that's an Andy North project up there. Just kind of recap that. And 12 holes, is that something for the future?
I think so. I think with these short golf courses, it really doesn't matter how many holes they are. Some of them are, the one at Sand Valley is 17 holes. I think the one at Pinehurst is less than 18 holes. I think, they have this ridge at Trapper's Turn up above the Lakes course. And I think 12 holes is what fit on that ridge. And it's one of those things where guys are going to go up there, guys and women, and just, take an hour or 90 minutes to grab 3 golf clubs and a beverage and go up there and just play for an hour and just have fun. And I don't think it really matters how many holes it is. But the one thing that struck me about it is that it's basically a major championship greens. It's like U.S. Open greens that you're hitting with 60 and 80-yard shots. So I think it's going to be exciting and fun. They can put the pins in just crazy positions. There's a punch bowl green that if they put the pin in the middle, I think you're going to see, a couple hole-in-ones every day. So I just think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to keep people at Trapper's Turn for an extra half day or day to play more golf and spend more money. And more power to the resorts who are doing this.
All right. What's your question to Tiz?
Yeah, here we go. I went to a place called the Practice Station in New Berlin. John Bauer owns it, a teacher, and he's installed TrackMan Range, first one in Wisconsin and the 18th in the country. And you download an app to your phone. You go to the range. No matter where you set up, every shot of yours that you hit with every club is measured, and you have all this information on your phone. And sometimes I think it might be information overload even. But I wonder, Tiz, I know you're a little old-fashioned when it comes to teaching. How much of this technology do you embrace? Do you believe in some of this stuff, or do you just think your eyes tell what you see with the ball site? It tells you what you need to know.
I think it's great what they're doing. I think 12 holes are good. I think 3 holes are good. Anytime that you can get people, because that's really what it's getting down to, be fun. It's different than it used to be when I remember when we had 80 players here, handicap 8 and under. We don't have that anymore. People aren't spending the time like they did before they're playing. But answer your question, I think all that is wonderful. I think it's a great teaching device. I am familiar with it. We have one at home. And I can trick it. So, sometimes that the information isn't.
But the average person probably couldn't
do that. No, it's going to be really good. But it goes back and it fits my deal because, physics will give you the feel. Right? The feel won't give you the physics. And if I can go ahead and in the teaching process, and somebody is learning when they can communicate back. It's very difficult standing on a tee without something that they can relate to, and they, being the generation today taking those, are used to this type of stuff, and they can look at that and they're not afraid to ask the question, why is it turning like this, and why is it turning like that? So it gives me a great opportunity to expound on the physics of why that happens, and then they're learning. So I think it's great. I think that's wonderful. It won't be too long before it'll be here at Cherokee and in the new range we've got planned here, an indoor range, and the teaching and the club fitting. All that stuff is really good. I just think it's great. The more we can get people to play golf, and we've got some people in the state. I'm very close to the Schnarr family. And Derek is over there teaching. The more people like that can turn people out. The person that's over at Vitens there, these guys are teaching all the time and they're turning people. And I think it's great. And they're using this because I see when those players they come and chat about this. What is this? What is that? So short answer to your question, I think it's great. I think that if you can get that business of what causes the shape, what causes the path, what causes the trajectory, and you can see it right in front of you, what we're talking about. So, I think it's great. And answer your question, I think it's great. We use it. I have it here. I interpret it a lot on people that are calling. I get calls all night long till 10 o'clock of people sending me the video, and you can see it right there. So I think it's great.
Gary, we appreciate you being on. Again, we look forward to you coming back very soon, and thanks for your input on the show, and have a good week.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Thanks, Senior.
We'll be back with Eric Nepp after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Now that's a parking spot.
Introducing the I may have underestimated the size of my car policy with accident forgiveness from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. Get a quote. Find an agent. Visit amfam.com.
Optional policy features not included in base policies. Review policy for coverages and exclusions. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A cherished family visit looks different today at Oak Park Place, but the feelings of love and support haven't changed. The focus is always on resident health and safety. Thank you to the families for finding unique ways during difficult times to connect with loved ones while maintaining physical distance. A wave and a smile from outside, a yard sign with a special message, all to bring joy to the residents. They have locations on Madison's east side in the Nakoma neighborhood, Janesville, Baraboo, Oak Creek, and Wauwatosa. Visit oakparkplace.com.
Hi, this is Dave Gary with the Princeton Clubs. A great round of golf requires the right club at the right time. Here in Wisconsin, the Princeton Club is the right club at the right time. If you want to improve your game, give us a call. For custom golf fitness programs, we work with all types of golfers to increase flexibility, core strength, stamina, and overall fitness.
We're committed to excellence, the Princeton Club.
For more information, go to princetonclub.net.
This is Gary D'Amato with Killarney Golf Media. Check out our coverage of golf in Wisconsin and beyond on wisconsin.golf. We cover people, courses, tournaments, issues, and trends. Anything and everything that impacts golf in our state. And keep listening to The Golf Effect for expert analysis, topical dialogue, and great guests. Between wisconsin.golf and The Golf Effect, we've got you covered.
4. Wow, you're terrible at golf. Who taught you?
I Googled it.
You need to meet with Tiz.
What's a Tiz?
Dennis Tiziani, Wisconsin Golf Hall of Famer. He has over 50 years of playing and teaching experience with a ridiculous list of championships and champions. Maybe you could be his next protege.
Where can I find him?
At the golf range at Cherokee Country Club.
Well, what if I'm not a member at Cherokee Country Club?
Well, the golf range is open to the public, but have you ever thought about becoming a member? They have a new membership program where you can pay for what you play, whether you play once a week, once a month, or just want an unlimited option.
Wow, sounds like an ace in the hole. Where do I sign up?
Just call me, Kristen the Piston, at 608-241-8788, and I'll get you all teed up.
Cherokee Country Club is the only club in Madison to offer indoor and outdoor tennis, swimming pool, and social individual, family, and junior memberships. Call Kristen today at 608-241-8788. Cherokee Country Club. Pay for what you play.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
We're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown. And joining us now is Eric Knepp, who's involved with the Madison Parks Department for the city and Madison golf courses. Eric, welcome to the show. Let's start with, there was a task force that was put together to give some advice to you guys in terms of the future of golf in the city courses in Madison. Give us some basic background on the people that are involved with that task force.
Certainly. So the task force was created by the council last fall, and we were set to be originally supposed to be done by May, but a little pandemic thing happened. So it's still ongoing, but they're now set to be done by the end of this month, actually, is the council deadline, less extended. But the background of that group, 9 residents of the city of Madison. There's a member of the golf subcommittee. It's been around for a long time. The subcommittee. Jim Kopp is on there. Ray Shane's a former city employee and PGA professional on the task force. Are 2 names that golfers might recognize. Dan Steinbring's an avid golfer. Noah Lopez also is a member of the First Tee. He's kind of a younger voice, high school young adult, sorry. So there's 4 of them. Veronica Vega's got a lot of connection to youth engagement and community building in the community. Bill Barker is a former Park Commission chair. He's also a UW assistant dean. And trying to think who else I missed on that one. But we also have Katie Kruger. She's an avid park user and neighbor of the Monona Golf Course. That's 7 of the 9. I might have missed a couple. I'll come back to them when I come up. But it's really reflective of our entire community.
And
I think. And
what's the role that they're playing in the total process? And is it an advisory position? Is that a fair way to describe it?
I think ultimately it is advisory. I hope that the council, the Common Council alders, and the Board of Park Commissioners who will ultimately have to make some decisions about the future of golf, I really hope that they take this advice and recommendations pretty seriously. But yeah, certainly there'll be additional steps in the process. And, the task force, so again, that blend of the community and really reflective of our community, I hope. And what I'm excited to say is, I think for golfers, there's a lot of clarity already forming around, should we be in the golf business? The answer has been pretty clearly yes. And why, which is provide affordable and accessible golf to all. And I think that really helps set a vision and a focus for our direction for the future. Now, it calls into question enterprise fund golfers alike, and I think, frankly, that gives it a lot more weight long term.
I would imagine there's not a total unanimity, so to speak, among the entire. Everyone's probably got different suggestions, or do you get a kind of a common theme from them in terms of the conversation that's happened so far?
Yeah, certainly there's the unfortunate common theme has been that there's a general, I don't want to say consensus, but I think there's a lot of interest in, do we have a few too many holes? And now, a few too many depends how you define it. We've had people say maybe it's up to 45 holes of closure, which is on the very high end of the 72, but as low as 9. And I personally, my take on it, and this is my take, this is not the task force voting, it feels to me that Yahara is really the conversation point that's going to come up here this month of July. And what's the future of Yahara? Should there be golf there, and how much? And that's certainly not a unanimous position of any. It's going to be a tough slog for that group to kind of come to consensus around a vision of that property.
And speaking of that property, you've rumors, of course, and that's exactly what they are at this point. No decisions have been made, but you hear that they may sell it and it might be a landfill. To the Ho-Chunk Nation, potentially might be someone that would be interested in it, to the reduction of the amount of holes at Yahara and that kind of thing. What, if any of those, could you comment on, and how realistic is that?
Well, I would start by saying no decision has been made, and that's the part I really want the public to understand. This process is a very sincere approach to try to determine what we should do with the land, the park land, that we currently house golf on. The task force has been incredibly clear that they have no interest in weighing in on future park land use decisions beyond where golf should be and shouldn't. And speculating on, any myriad number of rumors, as you call them, the only one I like to jump in on, because I have a pretty good relationship, I feel, with the nation. And the Ho-Chunk have expressed no interest in acquiring the golf course or any part of the actual golf course at all. There's just, I can't speak to why then, certainly it'd be a very heavy lift to imagine a landfill next to the nation's property, as well as taking parkland, selling a parkland of that magnitude. But anything can happen, Paul. But I think we're way early in the speculation of future land use. Right now, we have to decide how much golf should be.
And First Tee made a presentation to your group recently, and at one point too, there was some interest in Yahara Hills from that side of it. What, if anything, can you tell us about what potentially First Tee might be involved with?
Yeah, no, First Tee, Ashlyn Melhoff, the executive director of First Tee, presented to the task force just, last week when we met. And I thought that she did a great job kind of articulating what the First Tee is and how they operate, and how the South Central chapter is really leading the curve in the nation around what they do, around education and engagement with the youth. And she set a positive vision for partnership. I think a specific focus tends to be at Monona there, because Monona and Odana are two places with ranges that would meet kind of the instructional partnership for their needs, instructional needs. And, as I joke many times, Odana is going to be real hard for us to part with, and I think everybody knows why. But Monona and some kind of creative partnership there to enhance services, address potential capital needs and our operational financial realities. I think there's a lot of potential. We won't jump right into here's the partnership tomorrow, but the presentation I thought was well received, very well done, and it certainly opened up it seems like a very good bud on what could be a flowering relationship, I guess I would say.
Dennis, any thoughts on this or any questions you would have for Eric?
Well, no, I agree with what he's saying. I mean, I think that there should be a partnership between the city and First Tee. Both have the same things in mind of youth moving ahead, education for golf. So I think that that's good. I do think that, though, you've got to address it from a financial standpoint. And I think he's doing that more than maybe anybody is. That, if you're going to be in the business, then be in the business. And sometimes offering affordability sometimes just doesn't work to it. And but I know that they're on the right track. I'm a big supporter of First Tee. Obviously, we are a North Side person that houses First Tee, and I think that relationship is going to be a kickoff for both people. I was on one of those committees. Still have inside, but if he made a really interesting point. The First Tee in South Central Wisconsin is a leader in the nation in things that are going on, and that's a good thing. And Madison, the city should hook up to that, and they should hook up to the city, because one of the visions is to have it could be international, but certainly a national tournament for the First Tee. And we have a site there at Yahara, for instance, that could host something like that, 117 chapters. So I think they're doing good. I just hope that as they go forward, that golf is what's important and not some of the sidebars that could possibly, come up.
Eric, what is the reality of the financial with the Madison golf courses? You hear a lot of different things. And people are playing golf this summer because of the COVID situation and that kind of thing. What's the bottom line in terms of the profitability of the courses, or where does that stand realistically?
Yeah, and certainly it's a good question, and it's a fair question. So the good news is this year we're ahead of last year's revenue trajectory, even though we started quite a bit later due to COVID, and we're trending very well. But the bad news is, last year was really bad. Now, it wasn't as bad as the 2018 debacle that came with the false flooding. But last year, on a comprehensive net income position, the golf courses lost $500,000. Now, it is fair, and I want to be very clear to golfers that I understand that is using enterprise accounting. That's what I referenced earlier. Taking into account, just like a business, like Golf Enterprise, is paying the city a pilot payment. That's a payment in lieu of tax. So it is true that is something no other park service is doing. And I always acknowledge that. But on that basis, which is the policy position the council has set up for us for the greater part of 40 years, we lost about $500,000 last year. Now this year, I think we hope it would be closer to 300. But the reality is, from an enterprise perspective, with the number of holes available, we can't just raise prices. We can mess with them a little, but honestly, it's going to be real hard to generate that kind of revenue with the expenditure profile. And the expense profile of golf, as everybody out in the business knows, talking about it's resource intensive from natural resources and from some level of petrochemicals, and then labor intensive. And those things are all going up at higher inflation in Dane County and have been for the better part of 2 decades.
Eric, thank you very much. I hate to cut you off, but we're out of time. But you gave us a very insightful update as to what the process is, and the decisions obviously will be down the road. And we'll keep you in mind, and we'll update the Madison golfers as we can throughout the summer. Thanks for your time. We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new personal auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that your dreams mean the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions. The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, is open for play and awaiting your arrival. The Robert Trent Jones Jr. design, University Ridge, is now offering 18-hole walking green fees for as low as $46 plus tax any Monday through Thursday. This 18-hole rate won't last long, so visit universityridge.com or call 608-845-7000 to reserve your tee time. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge. How would you like to play golf at Wild Rock in Wisconsin Dells or UW Ridge here in the Madison area and support the Golf Effect charity at the same time? That's right, you can play Wild Rock and UW Ridge for $50. That's a great price for those two courses, and by the way, it includes the cart. All you have to do to get your passes is go to the website that's called thegolfeffect.org. Click on the golf passes, order the number of rounds you would like to play. You can pay for them through PayPal, and Cherokee will send you the amount of passes that you ordered. By the way, those passes for UW Ridge are good Monday through Thursday, and Wild Rock is good Sunday through Thursday. There's a limited number of passes to be sold. Trust me, they're going to go fast. A chance for you to play Wild Rock and UW Ridge for $50 by going to thegolfeffect.org.
Play the best kept secret in Wisconsin golf. Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells. This Herdston and Pride design not only features stunning views from elevated tee boxes, but it also showcases the natural beauty of the surrounding area that will dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike many places you played before. A true test of golf for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time online today and see what you've been missing at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hello, this is Paul Brown. On behalf of Dennis Tiziani and myself, we would like to thank American Family Insurance Company and the Stricker Foundation for allowing us to help them raise money for the Birdies for Health campaign during the last two American Family Insurance Championship tournaments. Because of their backing and our efforts of promoting the Birdies for Health campaign, we were able to raise more than $120,000 for Alzheimer's research at UW Hospital. Obviously, that successful effort would never have happened without the very generous support of people in the Badger State and around the country. Not only are we very grateful for the support, but you should know that 100% of the money raised for research went to the Alzheimer's and Dementia Research Center at UW Hospital. Even though the American Family Insurance Championship won't be held this summer, we will look forward to next year's tournament, where we, along with your help, will continue the fight to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. And we're back on Talking Golf and the Golf Effect Radio Network. This hour has just flown by tonight.
Yeah, good stuff.
Tiz, just in summary, obviously there are no final decisions on the Madison City courses.
Right.
There's a lot of things to consider in making that final decision.
But I think they're on the right track. The guy that we had here, Eric Knepp, he's probably the most qualified guy that I've dealt with for 50 years that I've been here on that issue of golf courses, the city parks. I mean, I've communicated with him. He's responded right away. You know, he has to be a little bit political in what he's doing. But I think that relationship between the city and First Tee would be great. And my comment would be, city keeps their courses, the environmental part goes good, but that operation part could be part of how First Tee can really step up and make that a profit center instead of a loser. You know, if you keep losing money year after year after year, but you don't change the format, you know, it's going to keep doing that. It's a first step of insanity. So I think that they being the city see this as an opportunity, and certainly First Tee, this would be great for them to have their own place. I don't know too many successful businesses that don't have their flag, their name on a particular facility. First Tee, this would be good. And the leadership there is great. It's best that it's ever been. On and on, it's a good thing.
What's a Tiz?
What's a Tiz? Yeah. What is it? Tiz law.
The question on the commercial is, what's a Tiz?
What's that?
We'll let you think about that.
What's the horse's name? Tiz law.
Along with Dave McCann, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. Thank you for joining us. That is another edition of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
That's very cool.